Ta-da! I did it right this time. I didn't throw you out there without you expecting it.
Hey, everybody. Happy Mother's Day. What? I said it nice.
I know. I was just letting you do your thing. Hey, Lori.
Hey, Lori.
Mr. Ed.
I feel like you gotta sit up tall.
I don't. Please forgive me if I have seen this one and don't remember it. I don't remember Fail Sauce Inc.
Wonder what
So
that
maybe
is.
that's new. But
What does fail
if that's
sauce?
new, we welcome you to our life.
Wonder what fail sauce ink means.
I don't know. But either way, happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. I loved your post today, Nick. I only had one person say something. It was one of the baseball moms, and I said, that was Zoe approved.
Oh, and you know she was loving it.
I did not just do that on my own. I let Zoe read it, and she said, that's funny, do it.
Now you have to tell them what you posted.
Zoe already yawned.
I might have.
You probably did. So, for the ones that didn't see it, this was first thing this morning, too, while we were getting ready for church. I said, Happy Mother's Day to the okayest mom and wife. At some point, I guess we'll stop at Dollar General and see if they have any cards left. And one of us will make you a special bologna sandwich after church if you're awake long enough.
I thought it was cute.
That was my Happy Mother's Day post to Zoe. And do you know Dollar General didn't have any Mother's Day cards for real? Like when I bought the stuff to cook you dinner at Winn-Dixie, they didn't have any. Not that I like. They had some, but they were kind of stupid.
That would have fit perfectly.
They were kind of cheesy, and I was like, oh, I'm not dealing with that. No, I'm not doing it.
Wanda said I have free pass on yawnings and Zoeisms today.
When do you not have a free pass on yawning and Zoeism?
You can't give me trouble today.
Hey, Christy.
Hey, Christy, you look so pretty today.
Saw Christy at church this morning.
Yep.
Bologna Sammy.
Yeah.
Well, she did not get a bologna sandwich.
Is that attached?
Probably. Hey, Catherine. Hope you had a good Mother's Day. Oh, I missed shaving one, apparently.
Got it.
Wow.
Hey, Catherine.
You did not get a bologna sandwich. Are you going to tell them what you got today?
I guess if I have to.
If you lie, I'm going to punch you in the leg.
You can't.
Yes, I can.
And then I'll kick the table and I'll knock everything down.
Just tell them.
Well, yeah, she is alone. That makes my heart hurt.
Uh-oh, must be storm work.
Yeah, Nick made some. You made some steaks and some sausage and some weenies and some baked potato.
Don't start it tonight, Rhett. You got a new tablet to play with. You don't start. I just wanted one more game installed. I just wanted one more game installed. He did a Puff Cheez-Its commercial on our video, and I didn't see it until I was editing. I had no idea he had done that. But we had a lot of people notice, by the way. Pamela Taylor, you did not have a ham sandwich.
Nope. You did you cooked for your mama and my sister and your little family here, and it was so good. And I'm ready to get off the live so I can have another piece of sausage.
I got Zoe some pineapple sausage and some jalapeno and cheese sausage, and I knew she would like both of those.
But we can't talk about food the whole time. People will leave.
Well, that's what we did for Mother's Day, was fed you.
And I made a chocolate cake with caramel icing.
It's good but ugly. That's the ugliest cake ever.
I've ever made.
It looked like a hamburger bun, y'all.
It did. I poured caramel over the top, and it was so ugly, but it is so good.
She's making it for the house, so she didn't even bother to trim it up or nothing. She took 2 cakes straight out of the oven. They're rounded, got rounded edges, fat edges, and she just crammed them together.
Put some between them.
And you put caramel on top of them, and it looked like a hamburger bun.
Yep. Sure did. It even sank in the middle of it.
It was so ugly.
That means all that warm soaked into all that warm.
And Zoe said, "This is what it looks like when it is not for looks. It's just for taste."
That's right. That's right.
Oh, cake tastes better than it looks.
Yeah, for sure.
No doubt.
Well, and you got some cheesecake, which I don't want to share with nobody. So I made cake, and I'll eat cheesecake later.
After I go to bed. After your nap.
I ain't took no.
You'll send everybody to bed, and you'll fall asleep, and then you'll wake up and say, "I'm waiting some cheesecake." I know what's going to happen.
She said Scott cooked hibachi.
Ooh.
You need some like ting, 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 ting.
Well, she's on her way for leftovers. What you need leftovers for? You had hibachi.
That sounds so good, too.
One more day, and my heart monitor is done.
Yeah.
Hot dang food talk with Nick and Zoe.
I know. Trying to get it out of the way.
We were just going ahead and getting that out of there. And see, Dean, if he comes on, he's going to be disappointed because we already talked about food.
Then we'll have to go back through it all.
I can't go back through it. They're just going to have to fill him in. I can't go back through it. People don't want to talk about food the whole time. Mm-hmm. Well, I hope y'all had a good Mother's Day. I saw some comments I was reading through. Sadly, I was reading through the comments on the live before we got on here, but I'm still 2 weeks behind commenting on stuff on our YouTube. And I don't even know how far behind you are on Facebook because I try to let you handle Facebook or try to get you to. It's terrible. I'm so far behind, it's not even funny. And I'm sorry, terribly sorry to people.
Lorraine hasn't watched it yet, so she'll get a good Cheez-Its commercial out of Farmer Red that we did not know about.
Yeah, I didn't know it until we were editing. I was editing the video, and I was like, look at this fool behind us.
Yeah.
He's back there doing a Cheez-Its Puff commercial behind us.
Ultimate partnership for me.
You didn't do the commercial, Rhett did.
What if they gave him unlimited Cheez-Its? I would buy a box from him.
You would not. You just steal it from him.
I would. Mm-hmm.
I laughed so hard at Rhett in the video today, I had tears. I had to rewind to hear what Zoe was saying. We had no idea that he was doing that. Don't feel that you must comment. Well, Diana, it's not like it's a bad thing. I do it to let people know how much I appreciate their comments. And sadly, I am terribly behind, but I do try to go back and reply to them, if nothing else, just to hit the heart on it to let people know that I read what they put on there. So yeah, it's not like it's a bad thing. It's just we've been so busy and I'm terribly behind and I need to get caught up on that. I think I'm up to like 7 days ago. So all the most recent ones have replies, but I scrolled way back to the very beginning to see how far I was behind, and there were comments that were 2 weeks ago. It was like when Mackenzie's birthday. That was last month. That's terrible. I thought it was Cheetos. It was funny though. It was Puff Cheez-Its.
That actually taste like Cheetos. So kinda. We all tried them and discussed it and decided they all taste like Cheetos.
So I noticed this is a sit-down show. You do realize that some folks call the morning constitutional their sit-down. So technically, is this a show? Well,
it's always.
Yeah, this is actually our shower curtain. We're sitting on the toilet.
We share a bidet.
Zoe's on the bidet. She's putting on pressure wash mode.
I'm gonna punch you.
I thought it was a precious commercial. He was so serious and it was hilarious that you knew nothing about it. We did not. We submitted a picture of my niece with a box of Cheez-Its to the company, and they sent a sweet letter and coupons for more Cheez-Its.
I'm gonna send them a picture of me. Jeez, I'm gonna put a bow in my hair.
You.
I'm gonna put a bow on my head.
Just send the clip of Rhett. He's the one that needs the Cheez-Its. Was watching Walker when my daughter called and just got here. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. You too.
These new Old Bay seasoned goldfish crackers are strange. We still have not found them. Zoe's cousin bought some one time
for my grandmother's birthday.
It was some kind of party.
Years ago. Yeah.
And we have not found them yet. Ed said new, so evidently he just found them.
God, they are so good.
He said they're strange. They were not strange. They were good.
We haven't found them. The only thing I have found is Frank's Red Hot goldfish.
I haven't seen those.
I have.
Sue said Cheez-Its needs a flavor called Feral.
It would have something to do with ranch.
Probably. Or mayonnaise.
And mayonnaise, yeah.
Mayonnaise cheeses. Fire hose mode. I don't want to get too far behind here. My son imported some Maryland steamed crabs from me for Mother's Day.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's pretty fancy. Christy, keep me in your prayers. I go tomorrow to get blood work done. We think some of my important transplant levels are off. My legs keep cramping up and muscles are very tight. Christy, we will do.
Maybe that'll be an easy adjustment.
We will do that.
We have chips like that, but they're called jumpies. It's kangaroos.
They're kangaroos. Well, all right then. I can see that. It's all Old Bay all the way.
Oh, yeah.
Just put Old Bay on your own cheeses.
Oh, that's a good idea too. But
we could do that.
Yeah, we could.
Well, I need to know where Ed found them because we have not found those any store we looked in.
Said they're pretty good.
I need to know if they're finding them in any stores that we have.
Our Walmart does not sell.
I haven't found any stores around here. Walmart has ranch Cheez-Its. Oh. Will Bruno and Tater's Tot ever meet?
I don't know. Wait
a minute.
I've lost another toe.
Oh.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Ed found them at the Dollar General.
I think it's just our town. We need to check some more towns.
We need to ask about ours at Dollar General. Tammy, I am sorry. I don't know what kind of response to offer for that other than I'm sorry.
Yeah, I hope you heal quickly.
I should send you some different kinds of Aussie branded chips and candies.
Oh man, that would
be so you cool. Should. As a matter of fact. So cool. Christy said, "What's at the DG?" Well, Ed says he found his goldfish at the Dollar General.
The Old Bay.
Old Bay, yeah. In college, I worked in the Winn-Dixie Seafood Department, and I hate Old Bay seasoning now. I like Old Bay.
We don't have an Ollie's here, but we do.
There's one not far away, is it?
Is that
where it's at? Mm-hmm. It's because I'm diabetic, so if you're get tested right away.
Thanks, well, we decided to keep Bruno.
Yep.
And people told you didn't have to explain why.
Well, I did just to clear the air.
Yeah.
And most people, I hiccup right in the middle of that.
Yes, you did.
Most people were very supportive of the decision. I didn't see any negativity, but I wanted to go ahead and explain it as I was telling it, just to give our reasoning for it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't buy food at Ollie's. It's outdated.
I don't think I've ever been in an Ollie's.
I've never been in one either. There you are again. We doing this all night tonight?
What?
He always needs to tell Mama something in the middle of the lie.
Charge.
He just needed to tell you that. He needed. Anyway, what was we talking about now?
Bruno.
Oh, Bruno.
That we decided to keep him.
Yeah,
And you
I remember.
to people. Oh, you were done talking?
No, I was letting you fill in.
Oh, why would we explain it? Bruno's your calf. Well, so the way that I would have explained it, and I honestly don't remember what you said, was that it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to keep him a bull because the bloodline he's coming from is good. He's coming from good. We haven't found any faults in mama or daddy, right? So we've got, and they're both on the smaller side. So if it ever came down to it, and we did have to rehome him, his value would be worth more too, being a bull on the smaller side. But we plan to just increase our girls and give him the opportunity to do what he needs to do and make some more mini Herefords. Right?
Yeah.
The value of just a steer, a resale value is a lot less as well. And if you've got a good bull like that, that's a desirable breed, and there's always a potential to rehome, then there's no reason to make them a steer. Is that a good way to say it?
Joyce needed prayers for rotator cuff tear. I just want to make sure we didn't miss that. Yes, that's a good way to explain it. But
it's looking out for our farm in two different ways. To have another that can reproduce, but also if it came to it, it would also bring us income back on the farm without knowing that he's going to be slaughtered.
Well, the main point is the fact that he doesn't have horns.
Yes, that's a very
that's his
an important
main trait.
And he's small.
But you still have to think about the future and what could happen. And if we kept him as a steer, just as a pet, and something did happen where he had to leave the farm, it would almost guarantee that he would go to slaughter.
Yeah.
Unless he ended up at Cog Hill or something, just as a steer.
On a farm that wants steers.
Why don't you swap with little man Bruno? Then you don't have to worry about crossbreeding.
Well, in a way, they both have the same dad, so it would still be in the same bloodline.
Well,
they would still have a half of the same blood.
No, that wouldn't make any difference as long as it wasn't.
Her
if
directly.
You didn't have, as long as Tater didn't have a daughter off of Ferdinand. If, say, Bruno went there and little man came to our farm, he could breed Cinco and Bruno could breed Tater all they wanted because there's no relation there.
Well, I guess because Ferdinand and Cinco aren't related.
Mm-mm. And Ferdinand and Tater ain't related. So,
okay, I see.
As long as Ferdinand's not involved, it makes no difference. But I don't know that we would do that. It's just.
That is a good thinking point, though.
Yeah, but still, that would still just be for one cow.
Right.
And we are thinking of multiple heifers. It would just only be Ferdinand with Cinco.
Yeah.
Or if Ferdinand was to leave the farm, then we might have to take Cinco to Cog Hill to be bred. But either way, it wouldn't be a relation. Just so that he doesn't get steered and need to be rehomed, nobody would want him.
Right.
Somebody would probably want him. I just would want to ensure that he didn't end up in the freezer later. Mm-hmm. All right, how far did we get behind?
3 minutes.
You wanted a herd eventually, so he's the start of it. Basically, I'm going to crush up these goldfish and fry some fish in it.
Oh,
That sounds like an outstanding idea.
Oh, it'd be good for salmon patties.
Oh,
Mm.
maybe? I don't know.
Because you can put crackers in them. That would be good to put in them.
Maybe. Hope Zoe and all the moms have a very nice Mother's Day and pray for those no longer with us.
Thank you.
Saying a quick hello so they're on the way out. How does two hornless bovine go? Is it like goats? Can you breed two hornless together?
Well, the polled comes from the female.
Mm-hmm.
That's the trait is that carries on is from the female. So more than likely, if your mama is polled, your baby will be as well.
The coghill is going to have little man castrated.
Yes.
That's my understanding.
Yes. So if we were to ever send them over there, it would have to be before that. So that would not work.
Well, it's not like they would castrate him sometime between now and 60 days.
Well, you had said we would just send her over there.
I'm saying they were talking about swapping them back and forth, and you were talking about relation. I'm strictly talking about if they were both still bulls.
Okay.
If he's a steer, it doesn't matter. It makes no difference. I am looking forward to getting their fence built. Going to be pretty sturdy and be electrified. But on the gate of it, I want to make an Atlanta Braves sign and name it the bullpen.
Yeah.
It's going to be Atlanta Braves bullpen. That's where their field is.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my plan.
Okay.
I don't want to tell you anything.
I thought all of them were called bullpens.
The bullpen is where your pictures are.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I would call it that. But I just wanted the Braves in there. It's bulls in the pen.
I know, but
I don't want to tell you anything. If it wasn't Mother's Day, I just wouldn't even speak to you at all. Quit. What are you doing?
I'm looking at you.
Got soaked getting baby chicks in tonight.
Oh, goodness.
I'll get you a KC Royal sign shipped ASAP.
The boys will put it up real quick.
No Royals. See, we thought it was funny. No, Zoe didn't get it because she don't know what bullpen is.
I did.
No, she's just acting like she knows, but she didn't get it. That's why.
I did know.
Can two bulls live together without fighting? Yes and no. They are going to test each other eventually, but it won't be like fighting constantly.
Well, I was going to say the alpacas test each other now.
Any males are going to do that.
Together.
Male goats get up and headbutt. So the cattle farm that I used to work for, they had a bull pasture that had like 5 or 6. And yeah, every once in a while you would have one that wanted to test the dominant bull, but it's not like constant fighting though.
No.
Glad you're keeping a new baby bull. Yeah. Me too. 3 more days of rain here. I'm getting tired of wet and mowing.
We've got some rain, but we've had rain for 3 days, and it's about to come a storm again in a little bit.
Zoe actually talked about going on an hour earlier tonight to get it over with before the storm got here.
But it looks like we're halfway through it, and it's.
Don't they only do that if females in heat? I would say, yeah, probably that would stir them up if they smelled a female. Where we plan on putting this, I hope, is a pretty good distance apart, but they are still going to know, I think.
Oh, yeah. Depends on if the wind blows down that way.
We've had rain for about the last 7, and we were supposed to have a clear week next week. We'll have mostly rain. I swear I'm going to start building an ark.
Well, it looks like it's going to hit us about 9:15.
Well, we'll be off here by then.
And it's going to stay for a really long time.
You initially said 8 o'clock, and you said, I wonder if anybody else goes live at 7.
Yeah. Watching it, it looks like it's going to get here about 8:15 and move out about 2 a.m.
8:15.
I mean 9:15. I'm sorry.
Are you going to keep Hank's sister?
Honey. Yes. So
Yes.
for now, Honey is going to stay with us.
Since we're keeping Bruno, does that mean more moo cows?
Yes,
Mhm.
it does. I really like the Herefords. The only thing I wish I could do is get me a Highland and mix me a Highland and a Hereford. I would love to get a mini Highland and mix her with a mini Hereford. I really
Those
would.
are all just novelty cows.
That make money.
No, we don't.
People would love
Not
to
if you don't
watch.
sell them.
Well, that's true too. People would love to watch them.
How does it make money if you don't sell them? Love to watch. They're going to pay you to come look at them?
Yeah.
No. No.
Yes.
Lori, I got 2 black bears you can have for the ark. Too hot for Highlands. Well,
you say that, but there are several or a few different Highland farms around, not here in our little town, but
people say that same thing about alpacas. I think it looks like it's too hot, but our temperatures are about the same as Oklahoma, and Gary had Highlands.
Yes, yeah.
And they had no trouble with their Highlands. And I heard multiple people say it is too hot to have alpacas in Alabama. Well, there's alpacas all over Oklahoma and Texas, and it ain't no hotter here than it is there.
Yeah.
We have the same weather, as a matter of fact. We just had it 2 days later.
Some of the ones, it would have plenty of shade. You know, I think we could do it.
But I'm not really that high on them. I'm not, Fluffy Feather Farm in Illinois has Highlands, but their weather may be different than ours. I honestly don't know. You need a huge pond. I need a huge pond anyway. Is Moody a Holstein, and is he a normal size? As far as I know, he's normal size. Yeah. And yes, he is a Holstein. I did not know they were that big until apparently that's what size they are. I just never knew that.
Alpacas are naked during the summer. It's all good.
That's right. They're just fine. You don't shear Highlands, though. They just going to have that hair all the time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure they shed just like the dogs.
But they don't shed all of it because Gary's were always hairy.
Yeah.
I don't know. They just look hot, but so do Pyrenees. Pyrenees always look like they're just burning up all the time during the summer, and they're just fine. Now, they're going to go lay in the pool or the trough at times, but the vet said the worst thing you can do is try to cut them. Yeah. He said, you cut that hair off, it's when they're going to overheat.
Their body adapts to it.
You could do portraits with a Highland as background and make cash. That is not sustainable farm income, though. Those are just little nitpicky hustles. I need sustainable farm income. Sustainable, not somebody taking pictures while I think she means people watching them on YouTube. Maybe. I don't know. Then you have to have a video of Highlands every day. Well, nobody wants to watch the same thing every day.
Just because you don't mean no.
How about a mini belted cow? Not sure what they're actually called, but they're black with white in the middle. You showed me one of those.
I like those too. Those are cute too.
You showed me one. I don't remember what that. It was a belted something though, wasn't it? Wasn't it a breed?
Yeah, it's a belted. Belted. Hey, Mr. Jacob.
Jada, bring Cocktail Farm Bureau over there to calm them down.
Giada.
Galloway. Lori, that's what I was looking for.
Galloway, yeah.
Lori knew it. Thank you, Lori.
Galloway. Those are cute.
Oreo cows, they said.
That's what I kept thinking. What's the Oreo cows?
That's what I was looking for.
Yep, those are big too.
Alpaca yoga sessions out in the pasture.
Oh, man.
Oh, there was somebody else said you were talking about a belted Galloway. I missed one. Never shave a Pyrenees. Somebody wanted our groomer to shave their husky and she refused. No,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
They said, don't do it.
Their body,
They
cannot
look hot,
regulate.
but you leave their coat on them.
Yes.
Watch Dr. Pole. Cows he deals with are as big as Moody or bigger. Linda said they call them Oreo cows too. There's always that moose option.
There's always the moose option.
I think it may be a little warm for them too.
Well, maybe not.
What's the breed of cow that are white with black spots that are smaller? Isn't that the British thing that Gary's got?
British whites.
British whites. Hey, Brenda.
They have the one. What's her name?
I can't remember all the names.
It's so cute.
It's the one you tried to steal.
Yeah.
But I don't remember her name. Breed bison. Oh gosh, no, thank you. You just talk about tore up fences.
So Lisa's talking about the potager. We haven't been on here since we did the potager video.
We hadn't?
No, because we weren't here Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
Salt, yeah. And so we
Mary Russell want to tell you Happy Mother's Day. She usually don't do lives.
Well,
so I'm afraid she might get off here before you say hello.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
We can't both drink at the same time. I got my own first.
You are the one yapping. And I've got time to drink this whole thing because you're long-winded.
You say that, but you keep talking over me. No, everybody let me know that the right side of my potager was squished. So we're going to do some adjusting.
Well, I told them in the video that we were going to adjust it after you saw the drone flight because you couldn't see it from the ground. You were guessing.
But I am thinking, now that I get time to think about it some more, I'm thinking, because we're going to have fence that goes around it. What if I was to move them in some more closer to the walkway, and I leave a little room to put like some little benches and some
pretty questions as they come across.
Hold on, to put our fence up with our lights and leave some room for some benches and maybe some flower pots.
Judy Cole's already going to good night. She hadn't even said anything tonight, I don't think. Has she?
Did.
What did she say?
You ignored her. I don't remember.
I didn't read it. I didn't see it.
But I thought if I bring them all in more to the middle, I can have room to put some benches or some pretty like colored flower pots and stuff around. And then everything will be a little closer to the walkway.
Just get it where you want it before I dump dirt in it.
Yeah.
Wherever that's at. Just get it there. I don't care about all the benches and stuff, but that's not my idea.
Put the tractor in there.
That's not.
I'm just gonna wheelbarrow.
We're gonna need tractor at some point somewhere around it. Just you're not gonna want to do all that with wheelbarrow.
Then we're gonna have to we'll talk about it later.
You're gonna want some access there somewhere with
because I want to put a chicken coop at the back.
Hey, y'all from Centerville, Indiana. Happy Mother's Day, Zoe.
Thank you. You too.
Bickersons were great. What is that? Oh, y'all needed to listen to the old comedy routine, the Bickersons.
Oh gosh.
I bet I can only imagine.
What do you mean by potager garden? So potager is a French word that means
you never read that question either, so I'm going back.
Kitchen garden, which is where you would typically it would be planted outside of your house where you can walk out and collect the herbs and the vegetables and all that you need to cook your meal. But I don't know where my house will be, so I just put it right there. Maybe one day I'll have one. My house will either be near it or I'll put a little one at my house too. Is it a good idea to mix breed cow species?
Yes.
It is, because you can. I looked into the Highland and Herefords.
I hadn't looked at Highlands or any of that garbage, but it is a good idea to breed cows for certain traits.
Right.
Yes, and 100% the reason that they cross different breeds of cows is in ease of calving.
Yes.
You'll want a small breed bull.
Yep.
And a bigger breed. That is why we chose, and I'll talk about that some other day. But there was a certain breed of cows that I wanted on that farm because the mothers were really big.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to breed it to an Angus bull because it would lower the birth weights. The mothers already had ease of birthing, and they're called Santa Gertrudis.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I was wanting that breed of cow. But now that we've researched it a little bit more, there's another breed that has been developed, and it's actually a cross of 4 different breeds. And we're not talking about genetically modifying anything. This was just breeding for certain traits, and they're called South Poles.
Mm-hmm.
And they were bred by Teddy Gentry, who was in the country group Alabama. He actually still lives in Fort Payne. And that was why we were going for there.
Mm-hmm.
I hear Longhorns have low birth weights. Typically, the Longhorns did have smaller calves because the farm I worked on was Longhorns. You've heard me talk about working on a cattle farm. It was Longhorns. They were for stock contracting. But the breed that I'm shooting for is more for beef too.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say, because I did look into the Hereford Highland mix for the benefit.
Tim had Santa Gertrudis several years ago.
And it says that a cross between a Hereford and Highland can result in hardy cows that are excellent mothers with high conception rates. The steer calves grow faster, so if you're using them for meat production.
Well, and Wanda said, well, you eventually do meat cows. Yes. I do plan on having a herd for beef, yes. Lori has Dexter's and got a new baby 4 days ago.
That's cool. Dexter.
Well, I'm behind on video, so I wouldn't know.
I didn't know either. Haven't watched lately. Haven't watched anybody lately.
Watch anybody. Because we suck. We don't have time to watch anybody. We barely have time to make a video.
I just watched ours just 30 minutes before we got on here and no clue. Really.
So we finally, out of curiosity, watched our video because she didn't have a clue. Catherine said they had Santa Gertrudis when she was a kid. I had a buddy that I worked with who raised Black Angus, who recommended the Santa Gertrudis for all those reasons. And he said, I will handle your bull. You go get you 4 or 5 pretty Santa Gertrudis cows and you're set. And that's where I wanted to go. I have Dexter boys now, and Helen is an Angus. Well, Londa knows about Lori's baby.
Yeah, we'll have to go look. We'll have to be specific.
Because we're friggin' terrible and don't catch up on videos.
It does.
She said Dexter meat's tasty.
Oh, Miss Mary. Somebody, happy Mother's Day, Miss Mary. Her son went off with his girlfriend to her mom's and promised dinner and didn't come home. I'm sorry, Miss Mary, that he did that.
I don't want to say anything mean because I get that you can get distracted. It's not anything mean. I just hate for somebody to deal with that. How many acres is the farm? We have 40, Joni, if you're asking us. Actually, the new baby is my friend's baby. 2 cows are mine and 2 are hers. Hers had one the other day, but they are all bred. That means you're going to have more babies. Well, I'm going to keep up with that, Lori, because I need to at least follow somebody's channel. I watched, let's see, Nico I didn't actually watch it. It was playing as I drove to work the other morning because I felt so bad at not watching them. And there was one of Kevin's last week that I actually played in my earphones while I was in a meeting.
So glad you're paying attention.
I'm trying to stay caught up on people, and it's terrible. I do a lot of listening to channels too. That's the only way I could try to get it. And I'm gonna be honest with you. So I gotta tell this story. So I was listening to Nico's video.
I'm gonna drink my drink while you're long.
Okay. I'm not gonna let the questions get away. I learned a lot when I was pre-vet in college. One thing I learned is being short is not good when prejudging the cat. No, you get your arm ripped off. I was listening to Nico's video, and I had my phone on the console, so I'm not watching the video. I'm driving to work and just listening. And I heard him say something about praise dancing, and I had to stop. As soon as I got to work, I backed the video up because I needed to know what he was talking about, and I had to watch Nico praise dancing. And later in the day, I texted him. I said, "There should definitely be much more praise dancing." Oh, okay. See, I'm doing it. I didn't lose nothing. How many baseball games this week?
Well, let's talk about baseball for a minute.
Go ahead.
So, Brett is all done. He is, thank you, Jesus. I'm all done with baseball.
Yeah, he was over it.
He was done with baseball.
He was asking me, he said, "When's football?"
He's got
couple more weeks, bud.
Middle of June, he starts football.
He was done. He was over it.
Chance was, as most of you saw, selected for All Stars. And he is excited. And Coach Nick over here was selected as an All Stars coach. I had nothing to do with that. That was all your friend, Coach Andy. And I am out of it. I am not in trouble for offering your assistance. And it's funny. I like it. I enjoy it. And so I put out a post because I don't want to sound like I'm asking
you begging
stuff, but people ask all the time about the kids.
You begging.
You know, and I'm like, don't send them any junk. And I mean, really, don't just send.
I've had people ask, "Do you have an Amazon wish list?" And I was like, "Absolutely not. I don't, because I don't want people spending their hard-earned money to send my ungrateful kids stuff."
So what I did is I made a board. Each kid has a.
Hush, Londa.
Each kid has a goal, and we would like to be able to help some with some of the other kids who have a little more trouble meeting their goal. So I put it out there for like $10 donations. That way I know, like, I felt if I asked for people to make a $50 donation, that's a lot of money, you know?
Yeah.
But I did put it out there. So if anybody felt compelled to help Chance's little team to get through state, we're taking some. I'm not even
gonna get started on why we need sponsors, but let me just go ahead and tell you that our city screwed our kids. And I'll leave it at that. That's why we have to have donations, is because the city of Clanton screwed our kids. Ta-da. I just told them. I didn't give them details.
We have to make a donation to the city.
Nick's friends threw him under the coaching bus, not rewarded. But you are so on it. My buddy Andy, he does it to me every time. My son volunteered his dad twice for Cub Scout leader, baseball coach. Oh.
So,
are you in Alabama?
We are, yes. So we just, if anybody felt like they wanted to, everybody's always asking about the kids. So if anybody felt led, we're taking donations for support. And what I'll do is when we meet our goal, I'm gonna add
Look,
everybody.
you done put Lori to sleep.
Here I am asking for money, but
You put Lori to sleep.
I just
We are not asking y'all for money.
because we're gonna cover it either way.
I'm covering it either way.
I'm gonna put on as a sponsorship from Chestnut Hills Chestnut.
Man from the West 420 said, I've been there. It's beautiful.
Thanks.
Well, man from the West 420, howdy from Los Angeles. Cool.
That's pretty neat.
Watch 100 Acre Wood Highlands if you want to see Highland.
Oh, I will have to look that one up. But yes, anyway, we baseball, he starts practice this week for us to begin we have a tournament next weekend. We have regionals the second week of June, and state is the first week of June, and state is the third week of June.
Hopefully we'll manage to still put out videos.
We're gonna do it. We'll get it.
It was hot here all weekend.
Well, it has rained here all weekend.
Well, my understanding is that their weather is pretty nice, that even if it's hot, it's not really humid. I have personally never been there. But man from the West 420, I did have an uncle that lived there for a long time. And when he came back to the humidity, he was originally from here. He just lived out there for a long time. When he came back to this humidity, he was dying. But I don't know.
When we went to Las Vegas, it was not humid at all.
It wasn't humid, but my God, it's 120 degrees.
And I wore a black shirt.
It was dry, but it was like being in an oven. It was like, we'll be 104 by Wednesday.
Go see what happened, Miss Diana.
What? I need to back up.
Keep going.
All right, Diana, we missed something, but I'm going looking for it.
There it is.
Not the best.
My uncle were killed by being hit by a tractor trailer.
Services were Thursday.
I'm so sorry about that.
We did miss that, Diana. I'm sorry I missed that comment. Y'all, some of them just kind of roll past me, and when Zoe's over here just rambling on,
asking for money,
begging folks for donations. See, she says San Diego been hot this weekend. Isn't San Diego like the perfect weather year round?
Never been there.
I ain't either. TV sure does make it out like they're the perfect weather all the time.
Everybody, it's like
sunny California.
Ken and Barbie on their roller skates going down in their neons.
Enjoyed the videos this week. Just saying it, even though I always do.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you, Debbie. We were talking of beaches last week. Look up Wineglass Bay on the internet. That's one of our beaches here in Tasmania. That sounds good.
Sounds pretty.
It was so dry in Phoenix, Arizona when I went to see my dad in January. You step outside, even the spit dries up your mouth. Oh, yeah. She said, we're spoiled. Yes, Nick, the greater than 105 temps like vacationing in the oven without all the amenities. By the way, depends on where in San Diego you are. Okay.
I thought it meant South Dakota.
Oh. Well, I had been talking about San Diego, so I thought that's what they meant.
I am not.
I don't think South Dakota has perfect weather. It's freaking freezing up there during the winter.
Never been there either.
I ain't either, but I know it's cold up there. You aren't begging? Super happy to support the kids. Yes, she is begging. But she's got a good reason. Y'all are not getting me on that soapbox. I'm so mad at my town right now. You just don't even know. I can't believe they pulled what they did. I never would have expected that out of this town. I'm super disappointed in them.
But the boys
San Diego, but leave it to Zoe to forget following the bouncing ball conversation. Several years ago, my family and I took a trip down by Houston, Texas. I couldn't breathe down there. It was very humid. Well, Tim was in Oklahoma, and I know their humidity is as bad as ours. But here in August,
that's the worst.
I live in Southern California. It was 97 Saturday, and that was with a beach breeze. She's 7 miles from the beach, but we don't even hear it.
I'm so jealous.
I'm 7 miles from Southern California beaches.
She's intrigued about the drama here.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to do it tonight. I may explain it on a different live, but I don't want to go on. I did not. I don't want to get off on a soapbox. I want to be positive tonight. Tim said yes, but it's not as bad as Texas. I could probably see that. You know, in the movies they always show in like South Texas, and it looks like it's hot all the time. And they'll have on heavy jackets and stuff because you know they're in the desert and it's cold, but it still looks hot. Does that make any sense?
What?
Like all cowboy movies, all the cowboys always look sweaty, but then they'd have on a heavy jacket, I guess, trying to protect them from the sun. And then you realize it's freezing because it's in the desert.
I'm just gonna put it. Somebody asked, so I put it up.
Oh, now you even advertising, you're begging.
Somebody asked.
Nick, you could have our mayor in Montgomery. No, thank you. Nick not wanting to be on a soapbox. You ain't funny. Louisiana was bad too, Tim said. I'm 2 hours north from Houston and we have high humidity here. Yes, you do, Cheryl. I sure don't want to leave anybody on a downer, but I do have a prayer request.
Okay.
Friday night, I went to a wake for an 18-year-old girl, honor roll sweet girl. Please pray for the family. I bet. She said they're gutted. I could understand that. Kayla said South Dakota, it was in the 90s this weekend. Plus, it's very windy today on top of being 90s. Whew.
Well, it's been in the 70s here, and I am so glad that we're not the one that's
it's supposed to be 90 next week, but it'll be humid too is the problem. Mm-hmm. 90 is not the problem. Humid is the problem.
Yeah.
When are they going to state? State's June and 19th through the 22nd. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
I don't know about the other stuff. There's 2 terms.
We've got to have everything turned in by Saturday, I believe.
The problem with Phoenix was that it was boiling in the daytime and in the 40s at night. Lori said humid is always the problem.
It is. It'll make you feel yuck.
It's finally warm in Michigan. Jones Christie said it's thundering about the storm there. They getting the same crap in Tennessee that we've been getting.
Well, it's moving north, so they're probably getting it right after we.
Humidity's horrible in Tennessee. I was born and raised in Central Florida. Summer here feels like Florida minus the Lobos. It's swampy.
That's how it feels.
Humid, swampy.
Yeah.
West Texas land of summertime convection oven status, 115 plus with 10 to 20 mile per hour winds from the hotter south.
I am so glad I'm not there.
That just sounds hot. That's the only thing that ever bothered me about watching westerns and cowboy movies. They always looked like they was dying.
They were sweating so bad, and you know they didn't shower.
I was like, they just need to fill up their canteen, or he needs to find a pond and just jump off the horse and lay down in it.
Then there'd be a snake in it, and it would bite him. And the whole thing would just. Then the horse would get spooked and stomp on him.
Did I ever make
everything he gets for wanting to cool off?
Is that the only part of Lonesome Dove you remember? I made her watch Lonesome Dove, and that's the only part she hung up on. Chance and Farmer ready for school to be done yet. They were actually counting days today.
I have 8 days left.
Very nice in Kansas. No rain, sunshine, worked in yard, now have sore throat from allergies. Add the bugs, it's even worse. There's Zoe a yawn. Bonus of extreme heats watching mosquitoes explode into flames while flying. I wish I could watch flies burst into flames. He said mosquitoes, but I want to watch flies get so hot that they just explode.
I think she said swamp butt. Yep, there it is. Swamp booty season's beginning to ramp up.
You not setting that trap for me, Jones Christie. Humidity is horrible in Indiana too. I have natural curly hair and it makes me look like I stick my finger in a light socket as soon as I go outside. I'll trade you the cold for the humidity. Oh, I don't know if I would do that trade, Steve.
He felt the earthquake.
I read something about the earthquake.
It's all.
I didn't get a lot of info on it. I just saw it kind of scrolling.
Flies have a built-in AC system. They can live through anything.
I'm trying to see what else I missed. Steve, what kind of cold are you talking about? Where are you at? The airport tarmac was melting in Phoenix. They had to shut down the airport.
Oh my gosh, what is y'all? We're only in May.
Well, that's in Phoenix, Arizona, too.
Never been there either.
You been through it?
I didn't go outside.
No, you just flew over it.
I've been to it or went over it.
You went over it.
Don't count.
Well, one of my flights one time to Vegas stopped in Phoenix.
Where did I stop at?
I don't remember where me and you stopped at.
It was
I think we went. One time I went Atlanta to St. Louis and St. Louis to Vegas, but I think you and I landed in Houston. I think we went Atlanta to Houston and then Houston to Vegas. I think that's where we went. You only went once. I ain't taking you anymore. You're too daggone expensive. Illinois. I'm cold all the time. Hate winter. I would just want to go hunting in Illinois, but I wouldn't want to live there because they have too much snow. I mean, I like snow like the way we get snow. It lasts for 1 or 2 days and it goes away. I don't want to like snow for months.
North Central.
What?
Christy said, "Where are you?" And they said North Central.
Oh.
Tennessee dog.
Connecticut can be brutal in the winter. I bet.
Bet so.
I would imagine that would be brutal in the winter. Way on up there too. See, I wouldn't be prepared for it though, because I've been in Alabama all my life. So we get like 4 or 5 days below freezing, and so
I mean, if I have to wear more than 2 pairs of socks, I don't know what I'd do.
You would stay in the house. I am from Illinois, and we would get 7-foot drifts of snow. See, I'm not prepared for that. People obviously deal with it every day. Yeah. I mean, there's people that's always lived there, so obviously they know how to deal with it. I'm just not one of those people.
She said diabetics and mosquitoes don't mix. They'll bite you every time.
Oh, God.
See, I've always heard that I had sugar in my blood because mosquitoes will eat me alive. When I was little, I used to, I went to Girl Scout camp, and when it was time for the mosquitoes to come out, I had to find somewhere to go.
What was you doing in Girl Scout?
I was a Girl Scout.
You were a Girl Scout? You were just there for the cookies.
No.
Yes, you were. You didn't learn nothing, did you?
Yes.
What? You don't remember learning that? You was just there for the cookies.
You call me fat?
You need to tell them what you did red this morning. Said you just said that. Or are you gonna tell them what you did, Rhett?
Are you calling me fat?
Tell them.
This morning,
Tell them what you
we
did.
was getting ready for church, and Rhett has one pair of blue jeans that are too big, and
That's too big. Pay attention. They're too big.
He has to wear them with boots because they gather all the way from the very bottom all the way up to his crotch. Well, he put them on. He had it on with tennis shoes, and they was way too big. I said, Rhett, you need to go put on some different pants. Those pants, if you wear it like that, it's going to make you look fat. I said, because they're making you look bigger than you are because they're gathering up, so it makes you look bigger. And he was mad at me for so long because I told him he was fat.
He come told me, he said, Mama Sal's fat. I said, what? And I hear her yell from the other room, no, I did not. I told him he couldn't wear those pants because they make him look bigger than what he is. And he said, Mama Sal's fat. I said, well, buddy, don't worry about it. That's not what she said. And she comes in there and says, explain to him what I meant. I said, Zoe, how am I supposed to explain it to him? I don't understand what you meant either. I'm trying to shave. I don't know what you meant by that either, because it don't make no sense to me no more than it does him.
They was just all gathered up, so it made him look bigger than he was. And I didn't want him to feel I didn't like the way that it was making him look. So I wanted him to change clothes. And he still didn't do that. He still wore them daggum pants.
Yeah, but he wore them with boots. He didn't wear them with tennis shoes.
Did he?
Yeah.
I don't think he did.
Because he didn't want to change blue jeans, and I said, just wear them with your boots.
Okay.
And he did. So it makes little sense to many, many people. See, I've been married to her for 8 years, and she wanted me to explain to him. And I was like, Zoe, I have no idea what you meant either. I can't explain it. I don't know.
I just didn't want him to have, I guess I was giving him a complex and didn't want him to have a complex because it didn't look good. It did not look nice.
Old Blister, Dean showed up right at quitting time.
He's been here.
And he said, I need food. I ain't seen him.
He's been here.
Well, I missed it. I missed his comment then. But he said, I need food. So that means I'm not starting over with what we talk about food.
Anyway, on Mother's Day, I was in trouble with my 6-year-old because I apparently called him fat. All I was doing was trying to save him a little bulkiness.
You called him fat. Before church, you called him fat.
To call anybody fat.
You called the poor 6-year-old fat right before church.
Would you stop? People will be emailing me, mistreating that kid.
So we wanted to get that complex started at home.
See, I was kickstarting it before we ever went out in public. See?
It's time to get off here.
I'm digging a hole.
Yeah, you are.
What does that say?
One winter, my parents bought a new small car. It was totally covered with snow. You couldn't even see it. And that same year, they blowed the main street and the snow was piled up higher than the building. Dan said it's just church fat.
Oh, gosh.
Hi. We got to get off here, Zoe, before you start something else.
Okay.
I had to do one of those before we leave.
I knew the rest of his message was coming. The building, they sledded on him.
Oh.
Okay, guys. Well, I guess we're going to go eat us some more sausage and get fat.
Like Red.
You said that. You just called him fat and he's not here to hear you.
Making fun of you.
Well, tell him what Daddy said.
He ain't worried about Daddy because ain't no way in heck Daddy called anybody fat.
Keep asking questions so they can get to an hour.
We've already been on an hour, Jacob.
Jacob.
We've been on an hour.
All right, guys. We love y'all. We'll see y'all on Wednesday, video Tuesday.
Maybe. Bye, y'all.